What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 12 of The Rise of a Nation, here with FC Edmonton in the Canadian Premier League. Before we begin today, if you didn't see last episode, do go check it out. We made our debut on the Continental tournament stage, and we also had the first leg of our Canadian Championship game in the Voyaguers Cup against Toronto FC. The first time we've come up against MLS opposition, two massive games. Yeah, go check them out, and while you go and click off, let's talk about David Norman, shall we, for those of you who have already seen last episode. It was definitely worth checking out. I really can't stress that enough. The second game especially. But anyway, let's talk about David here. Big old Dave. Is he big? He's not that tall, really. But yes, we've signed David Norman here. He's going to be joining us from Vancouver at the end of the year. A free transfer. Good young Canadian, plenty of potential. Has been on loan, as you can see here, at Rio Grande Valley. I guess that's what we'll go with, Rio Grande Valley. I don't know. Yeah, they have a cool badge, the Toros. Is that their nickname? I don't know. It's a cool badge. Anyway, let's move on. He's a good signing though. A good little freebie. You know, it's good to get in the free transfers. Another signing we've made, and this is going to be potentially stupidly risky. I've signed this guy, Viva Vanco. I've not scouted him yet. And you might be wondering, Jack, why have you signed him? I panicked, okay, everyone. I went to the Mexican under-20s team, and I was just looking through the players, as you do, and I saw this 16-year-old valued at £400, which is less than everyone else, and he was at America Copper, and at first I thought, oh, well, that's just Club America. No, it's not Club America at all. I don't know anything about this team. I don't know if they shouldn't be in the game or not, or what. What I do know is that Vivanco here, who plays for them, is very good. So whilst my scouts are out scouting him, I've gone ahead and bought him. And they're going to come back from Mexico and go, he's bloody awful, don't invest your money in him. And I'm going to have to turn around and shrug at them and say, sorry, already bought him. He isn't joining us for 2 years, so it's like a long-term deal. He's joined us for £400. So it's a low-risk kind of deal as well. Obviously, he's a fullback and we don't use fullbacks. But he looks like he could be a very capable player of maybe training to play right midfield. Or if we wanted to change the system or maybe play with wing backs, I think he could do a job for us. But yeah, 16 years old, already capped under 20s, valued at £400. There were other teams interested. I panicked and I was just like, we need to buy him now because it might not be available forever. Just as a little bit of an update, I guess, I have added some new scouts to the team, which has been good. And you can see we've got plenty of reports been coming in. I really have been keeping an eye on things. And Mexico has really been a country that we've had some high recommendations from. Unfortunately, just in general, the Mexican players want more money. I guess because they're better paid in Mexico already. But yeah, it's been interesting, you know, just keeping a tab on things. You could probably see our assignments before. We've just been looking, we've got one scout just looking in the Caribbean at players, you know, potentially more Jamaicans on their way maybe. There's some okay ones here who have been thrown up. I feel like Harris here I maybe had before at Kingston Sprint a few years ago. He looks pretty good. Lamar Walker as well looks kind of decent, although we already have our fair share of Jamaican playmakers. But yeah, certainly I have been, you know, continuing on with the scouting. We've got, you know, the Caribbean being scouted, North America being looked at. The USA Developmental Championship we're also keeping an eye on just to see if anyone comes up who's really good there. I'm trying to keep on top of things and make sure that we are, you know, consistently looking for the best players possible. I feel like we've kind of been doing that with a lot of our scout reports so far, and I feel like it has actually paid off with some of the players you've seen us go in for, like David Norman, who was a player who our scouts threw up. I feel like he's just a very good young Canadian, and it would be a criminal not to try and bring him in. He's a player who we did look at, you might remember, last season. Anyway, since last episode when we took on Toronto FC, we've played 2 games in the league, both away from home, both identical results. The first was against Halifax. You can see here it finished 3-1. We got off to a flyer, albeit through a defensive calamity. I do not know what the Halifax players were doing at the back. The goalkeeper didn't look like a goalkeeper, and Amiobi was the man to capitalise on it. Unfortunately, the lead lasted 2 minutes. One, Diego Gutierrez from a set piece for them out on the right-hand side. Really good finish by him. Fortunately for us, however, Sarkaria to the rescue. He grabbed a brace. His first goal just 1 minute after they'd pulled all even. And, well, 2 very tidy little finishes from him from range. Neither of them particularly easy or clear-cut opportunities, but beautifully tucked away, and they ensured us all 3 points. The next game we had against York 9, a 3-1 win. Very, very good performance in this one. It was nice, to see two unusual goal scorers, I guess, in Zebi and Lincourt-Joseph. And I say unusual in the sense they're not strikers. They scored two of the best goals we've scored all year. The first goal by Zebi is probably up there as one of my favourite goals I've seen this year in FM. The Lincourt-Joseph free kick was top draw as well. And similarly to the previous game, we took the lead, they pulled it all even, and there was a test of our mental fortitude that we came through. And in this game, 2 goals in the second half. As I mentioned, Lincourt-Joseph and then Shandell Senior at their second time of asking, find in the back of the net. And well, with those 2 wins, you can see the Canadian Premier League table here. We are currently top dog after 3 games played, which is great news. Cavalry currently behind us on 6 points. Halifax, you can see, in third, 3 points behind us, but have played an extra match. And well, after the disappointment that was the spring season, we've started this season very well, although it's still pretty early days. Of course, we've been competing in so many different competitions, it's been difficult to focus on the league. So today we are just going to do the game against Toronto, and that does mean that next episode we will do the games against Alajuelense, the Costa Rican side. Both legs will be coming your way. I felt a bit weird about splitting up the 2 legs, so I feel like it's better to focus on those as one single match. It's going to be a tricky game for us against the Costa Rican Giants, but we have an equally tricky, or if not more tricky, game today against Toronto. Of course, we drew against them 2-2 previously. It was a really good performance. We played our regular system. It worked pretty well, but I am making changes for today's game. And the change I'm going to make is we're going to go to our more conservative system. So we're going to switch to wing backs. We're going to go with Chung out at right back, of course. He's been brought in to do this role when he joined us. I'm hoping he can really shine there today. Telfer is going to drop in at wing back, a position he can play. You can see there is a big glowing red square next to him, which is because he might find it challenging against Toronto FC's standard of player. That sounds like a dig at Telfer's ability. I think he's capable. The back 3 for today's game, I've decided to go with experience. So we are going to go with Moses at left centre-back. Then, of course, it's going to be the obvious Soria at centre-back, playing that critical role in our team, that ball-playing defender kind of position that he's just locked down as his own over the last couple of years. And then to the right, we're going to go with David Edgar. Of course, Connor James in goal, not really a surprise. By the way, his leadership's gone up to 8. Can we have a cheer? Woo! I mean, we sent him on a leadership course last year. It didn't do anything, but it has jumped up by 0.4 now, which is fantastic. Actually, while I'm remembering this, speaking of attribute changes, Edwin Bonsu, injured as we all know, out with his hip injury. His stamina, big red arrow, 5 stamina. How much did it drop by, you might ask? It's gone from 8.2 to 5.4. It actually upsets me. He's 30. This hip injury, we've sent him to a specialist to stop it hopefully reoccurring. But the effect it's had on his physicals is absolutely murderous. It's crazy. You can see just in general it's not massive declines, but the stamina is oh my gosh, it's a 5 stamina on a winger is not something I'm a massive fan of, particularly in a system where we don't play with fullbacks to support those wingers. The wingers have to have energy and have to have good legs. It's a cause for concern. We'll, of course, evaluate it when he comes back from injury. In the centre of the midfield, we're going to go with Marcelin ahead of Senior today in this position. And the reason for doing that is the fact that Senior is naturally able to play centre mid, whereas, Marcelin's able to naturally play there. Shandell Senior, you can see here, not so naturally kind of inclined to play this position. It's definitely worth just noting Marcelin, much like Edwin Bonsu, has seen better days. I mean, what has happened? Old age has just hit all of our players. Suddenly, it's I don't know what it's not good. It's basically the problem we've got. We don't have the youngest players in a lot of positions. In fact, it's kind of unusual for me. If we just look at our team, we've got 4 players in the starting 11 over the age of 30. Of course, Edwin Bonsu is another. Tomi Amiobi, of course, another there. I'm someone who usually likes players in their mid-20s. As soon as they hit 26, they're over the hump and I'm looking to move them on. But I'm not used to seeing all these physicals decline, and it's kind of making me panic. Anyway, Lincourt-Joseph is going to play the box-to-box midfielder role for us. That does mean that Alex Marshall is going to play higher up the field today. Bit of uncharted territory for him. A chance for him to play his natural position, however, as the playmaker here. And then ahead of him, we're going to go the same duo that played the last game against Toronto. It's going to be the Duck himself. And alongside him, you can see his little mate, his smiley mate. He's always happy. It's Nick Daly, or Nick Daly. Two very, very talented players. Daly here has just improved so much. I don't know what to say about him. While everyone else is declining, he's improving. It's like he's absorbing their energy. He's looking really blooming good for us, though, the 19-year-old. And, of course, these two guys did play the previous game against Toronto and perform very well. You might have noticed in some of the games that we've covered, Sarkoria and Amiobi have been the two I've been playing in some of the league games. You know, I've been trying to get these two separate strike partnerships kind of working off one another. Anyway, we're going to go with a more conservative system to start. It's 2-2 after the first leg. I should probably check. I'm pretty sure away goals do count. Yes, they do. So the fact they scored 2 away goals against us is not ideal. We probably need to win this outright. We certainly need to score. I mean, it's tricky. We don't go into this game expecting to win, but we've given ourselves a chance after the first leg. We're on a club record run for games unbeaten. We've also won, I believe, 6 games straight in the Canadian Premier League, which in itself is a club and league record. No one else has ever done anything like that. So that's good news. You can see here one of our players has signed a new contract. Apparently that's the pressing matter of this whole, pre-match press conference. I feel like the press and I have very different kind of priorities here. Anyway, let's get into this. This is the Voyaguers Cup. It is the quarterfinals. It's Edmonton taking on Toronto. 2 big cities, rivalries transcending sports. I do feel conflicted as a Leafs fan here. I'm trying to put that to the back of my mind. I don't really have an affinity to any Canadian teams besides, obviously, FC Edmonton and the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are my hockey team. And so when it comes to me taking on a Toronto team, I've got to remove the elements. I've got to just think I'm cheering on the team in blue and it's fine. That's how I'm going to get through this. Anyway, let's see how we do get on as this game progresses. I anticipate us to be on the back foot. That's why we're trying to play the counter-attacking system. It's not going to be easy for us, but I want to see what we can do. And really with this system, we're looking to press with our midfield, but I want our centre-back trio to really be rocks at the back. Anyway, we've got a situation to deal with here because they are working it down this right-hand side. Bunbury and Clubino. I mean, that sounds like a fake pro club's name in FIFA, doesn't it, when someone wanted to make a generic Brazilian-sounding name. But Clubino's here. We shouldn't underestimate him. He switches it to Morrow, who crosses it in. It's chested straight into the path of Jonathan Osorio. And the Canadian international, he's not going to show his brother's team any sympathy. He's going to lash it home. And he makes it 1-0. Really not good. Would probably be the best way of describing the start of this game. We've held firm for 15 minutes. I do now wonder, should we have approached this how we approached the previous game against Toronto? Should we have approached it with no fear? Should we have gone for them, tried to seize possession of the ball? In this current situation, we have to score 2 goals minimum because of away goals. So with that in mind, I think we just have to go to the system that we know. It's not a drastic change. We're fortunate with our versatile players. We can switch to it kind of easily. I was about to describe it as being like a Transformers transformation. We can recalibrate the same bricks to make something very different of our team. And well, that's exactly what we're going to need to do here. Toronto, a goal to the good. We need 2 goals. The reality is that even if they score another now, we still need 2 goals just to take it to extra time. 1 goal would not be enough. And well, we're going to need 2 bare minimum because Jonathan Osorio has scored again. And it was Michael Bradley with the assist. A tidy finish. I want to say maybe Connor James could have done better, but it was right into that bottom corner. We had so many men back. Edgar dealt with the initial one. Lincourt Joseph just didn't really react. Chung was caught out of position because he was already getting ready for the attacking transition after we won the ball back. I mean, maybe this is the crushing reality of the situation. Maybe we're realising after a valiant display last time that we still have a way to go. Although, I mean, if the Duck scores there, we have a chance. He heads it narrowly over. Still showing some attacking intent, still showing some life. We have to get the next goal in this game. If we want to win this without it going to penalties, we need to, score 3. and not concede. If we just want to, win outright or take it to penalties, we still need to score 3. Two would be enough for extra time. I don't know if I'd back us over another 30 minutes. Let's try and hit them on the break if we can. But here and now, we need to focus on our defensive duties. You can see how many men we have behind the ball here. Morrow works it well. They haven't got Altidore on the pitch today, so he can't be in the centre for the headers like he was in our last meeting. I don't know if that's merciful by them or if that's just a bit insulting. At half-time, it's poor. It's 2-0. Lincoln, Joseph and Telfer, the 2 players I'm looking at thinking, maybe I need to take you off. You can see here, Ottawa Fury beating Valor 2-1 on aggregate. To be fair, Halifax are winning against Montreal 3-1. So they're doing the business there. We've got to do the Canadian Premier League proud. Do I want to change things early on in this half? I think I do. I'm going to take off Telfer and bring in Osorio. And I'm going to bring in the Moth. I say the Moth. It's not Lamoth. It's Lamotte. But the Moth is his nickname in my head. Let's see if he can be drawn to the light today and get us some goals on off the bench. Being drawn to the light makes it sound like he's dying. Maybe I should take that back. If he ever watches these videos, Lamotte, I'm sorry, mate. You know what I meant, I hope. Right. Head in the game, an hour gone. We have to score in the next 10 minutes, I think, to give ourselves a fighting chance. It's going to be Chung to switch it to the Duck. Breaking through. Can he finish it? The answer is no. That was probably our best chance of the game so far. We now have a set piece to defend. Seaman, he scored, hasn't he? He has. Second time of asking. Osorio with the assist. Connor James, could he have done better after the initial effort? I think it begs the question, but make no mistake, the finish at the end of it was pretty unstoppable from the second effort. He actually got a really good hand to it, but it wasn't enough. I mean, we now need 3 goals. Now we just commit men forward. Now we have to stop worrying about everything and just go, you know what? We've tried playing defensive. It's not worked. Let's see what we can do. We're going to bring in Zebi out on the right. It's time for all-out attack. We need 3 goals. So we might as well have a roll of the dice and leave ourselves exposed at the back as Veron is through again. This could get a bit embarrassing, and indeed it will. Osorio, it's his 3rd goal of the season. He's got a hat-trick today. You can do the maths. He's the left midfielder and he's caused us all kinds of problems. I'm looking at his brother thinking, why can't you do that for us? I signed the wrong brother. On the volley, composed finish. Could James have done better? Maybe. I mean, they've had 2 clear-cut chances and 3 half chances. The fact of the matter is, they're a better team than us. They've kind of made us pay. Should I have played the possession-orientated system from the start? Should we have started more positively? Are there learnings that we can take from this game into the upcoming matches in the North American League, where, again, we are probably going to go in as underdogs? We could have an opportunity here through Daly. It's only going to be a consolation, but can he finish it? He can't. Bono in goal with a fantastic stop, and unfortunately denied again. Maybe we can still make something happen. Zebi whips it in. Osorio collects, lumps it clear. The highlight ends. I was worried we were going to concede on the break. We've made all our changes now. We've gone more attacking. We've rolled the dice. The worst thing is we have actually had chances to score, and we could have another one here. Daly, Marcelin, Dick. Or Duck, not Dick. Marshall, right, I've lost the plot. It's because I'm thinking of Nick. And I'm also thinking of Duck. Please send help. I mean, we've scored. Alex Marshall's got it. It's a consolation, but we'll take it. Daly with the little ball across. Marshall tucks it away. I love him with his number 98 shirt on. It makes me indescribably happy. I mean, if we get another now, can we dream? Could we dream of getting 3 goals? I mean, they brought Altidore back on. He's probably about to score. Osorio switched at wings as if he wasn't causing us enough trouble already. Fortunately, Connor James has held on to it this time. 10 minutes left. I mean, we've rolled the dice here. We've got the consolation goal that I wanted at the very least. Unfortunately, they are on the attack again, and it's Boyd here. He crosses it in. Altidore's there. It's a lovely ball in. Is that... It is Moses. I don't know if he could have picked up his man a little bit better. All 3 of our centre-backs kind of just panic. and are busy chasing back without actually thinking about where they need to position themselves in the box as they chase back. Moses just goes, you know what? Don't need to mark my man. Ball gets dinked over superbly, to be fair. And on the volley, he makes it 5-1. Not the best of performances. I'll demand more from the players now. It's probably a little bit late. But, I mean, they've reacted okay to it. If we could get a goal with a minute and a half left, it would be nice. We have created chances. We have had 2 clear-cut chances and 1 half chance. The issue is that they've finished every chance they've had. We've not been anywhere near as clinical today. Soria's lost. Where are you going, Ramon? He's going back to the keeper. Spreads it out to Edgar, who goes back to the keeper. I mean, let's just lump it forward and try and get the consolation, please. I admire you guys wanting to inflate your passing percentages. I mean, if we score from this could be a really nice passing goal, and it could be really nice here. Ducks through. Can he finish it? He can't. Daly, can you get the rebound? He might have been offside. It was another opportunity that we probably should have taken. We have now had more clear-cut chances than them. Does this mean I can claim we're being FM'd? Does anyone know? Anyone? Probably not. Probably not is the answer. Marshall. I mean, there's still time for another chance, maybe. Can we get it? 6 seconds left. Why are we going backwards? Get it in the box. Lamotte, what are you going to do? Just going to pass it back. And the ref's like, I'm going to put you out, your misery. Blows the full-time whistle. It finishes here 5-1. It was just one of those days. And everyone's reacted well to that. I feel like we were unfortunate. You can see Halifax, fair play to them, they've gone through. Ottawa have gone through against Valor, who previously made the final, of course. And, well, we're only in 2 competitions now, which I feel like in some ways is useful. You can see here Vim actually played a game, which is good news. The youngster playing for Valor in the Cup, still not scored for them in the Cup. He's got 2 in the league. But I was hoping he might have a bit more of a successful loan spell than he perhaps has had. But yeah, as I said, we can now focus on the league and the North American League. You know, 2 competitions were left in now. Our fixture congestion has been kind of mad over this month. It's going to continue to be a little bit crazy. Although we have got a week's rest now before the games against ULense. I'm going to Google how to say this team's name. So next episode, be prepared to be wowed when I get it correct. But yeah, that's going to be a 2-legged affair. That will be coming up next time. No games in between. So there's going to be no nonsense there. We are just going to get straight into it. But anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, drop a like on it. I'll see you again next time. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.